Watch out, it's the warning track.
Welcome into another episode of The Warning Track. I'm your host, Clayton McMahon. Thank you for joining Wing 15 Plus. New week. Season's getting closer and closer, a little over a week away. Recording this Monday, March 16th. Got a really fun episode right now. So we're going to recap, if we have time, another draft I did just yesterday. And then as we speak, I am actually doing another draft right now. This is a league I have done for a very, very long time. We do a slow draft on a third party. It's an ESPN format draft, but we do the draft on a third party site called Couch Managers, which allows you to do slow drafts. I think this is easily the most fun draft I do across baseball, football. It doesn't matter. I haven't played fantasy basketball in a long time. You get an hour to pick. And then overnight, so from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., there's a 12-hour draft clock, so you can still make picks during that time, but obviously people are going to be sleeping, so kind of essentially pauses the draft. Usually takes about almost a week. I feel like we always start it on a Monday at 9 a.m. This is 9:03 right now, time of recording. And, yeah, usually runs till about Saturday. I think there was one year it went to Sunday. It kind of just depends. It can definitely be a little slow sometimes, as I guess the name implies, but I think it's a ton of fun. I really enjoy the format. Gives you extra time to kind of research. Maybe sometimes it can be a little detrimental, get in your head a little bit, overthink things, but I think it's really cool to be able to do research. Kind of breaking down the roster quick. Decently sized rosters. So it's a 5x5, head-to-head categories, very traditional stats, runs, ribbies, home runs, stolen bases, batting average. Pitching categories are wins, strikeouts, saves, ERA, whip. So, yeah, very traditional in that sense. Rosters are a little unique. So we have catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, a corner infield, a middle infield, 4 outfielder spots, 2 utility spots, 9 just pitcher spots, so no starting pitcher or relief pitcher, and then 5 bench. So 27 roster spots. So, yeah, long draft. But really looking forward to it. We've only had one pick so far. Shohei Ohtani went first overall, which doesn't surprise me. In ESPN, unlike Yahoo, which episode 4 we talked about. Where's episode 4? One of the episode 3, recapped the first draft I did. In Yahoo, they split up Ohtani into 2 different players, a hitter Ohtani and a pitching Ohtani. And for those unaware, in ESPN, he's just one player. Now, the rule is that if Ohtani is pitching that day and, say, whoever manager has Ohtani wants to have him pitch in a pitching spot, you can't also have him in the utility spot. So I guess there's some drawback, quote-unquote, but, I mean, Ohtani's insane in ESPN. So I think that's probably where I would have went to had I a spot. I don't know if we'll have him in. We'll have to try to have him in sometime this week. But Ethan Dolan, Wayne 15 weekend anchor, is in this league. He's the 8th spot there. And then I've mentioned I do pretty much every baseball league with my dad, so he's in the 11th spot there. We're all big Tigers fans. So we'll cover this draft throughout the week, recap it as well once it gets started. It'd be nice if at least one other pick could maybe go. I mean, it's going to definitely be Judge, but so we'll see how it goes. But we'll kind of recap more of the draft I did yesterday. So I did another Yahoo draft, and this one is a little different than the ESPN one, but not quite as crazy as the 8x8 that I recapped last week. So it's a 6x6. Runs, homers, ribbies, stolen bases, total bases, batting average, and then the 6 pitching categories are wins, strikeouts, ERA, whip, quality starts, and then net saves plus holds. So kind of changes how you do your relief pitching, because not that closers are worthless, but at least in my opinion, I feel like their value goes down a little bit in this league. And so kind of running through my squad here. Catcher we have, and these are smaller. 6 benches, 2, 3, 4, only 8 pitching spots, 3 outfielders, no corner middle. So definitely a little smaller. Catcher, I have Agustin Ramirez, Rafael Devers at first base, Otto Lopez second, Austin Riley at third, Ellie de la Cruz at shortstop. He was my first round pick. Fernando Tatis Jr., Brent Rooker, Luis Robert Jr., Jacob Wilson, Matt Chapman. On the bench, hitters, we have Chandler Simpson, Jackson Holliday. Pitching, we have, so the pitching's broken up into 2 starting pitcher slots, 2 relief pitcher spots, and then 4 generic pitcher spots. So 2 starting pitchers, top 2 starting pitchers are Dylan Cease, Sonny Gray. Top 2 relief pitchers are Andres Munoz, Devin Williams. Mackenzie Gore, Josh Hader, who just will inevitably go in an IL spot once that opens up. Edward Cabrera, Cade Horton, Bailey Ober, Mike Burrows, Sean Manaea, and then Justin Steele. So some similarities to the other team. And the other team I drafted last week, I also got Brent Rooker, Jacob Wilson, and Matt Chapman. Rooker just went. We'll go into the round by round recap here in a second, but Rooker kind of just slid again, I thought, or at least he just seemed like in a good spot there. So I took him with my third round pick. And then Wilson, I just really like as a source of batting average late, and I could honestly see the counting stats being a little better. He was hurt for a bit. Oh, excuse me. So I could see those numbers bumping up a bit, and then. Honestly, even if he doesn't give me 13 homers, I'm not too concerned about that. And then Matt Chapman, just a late third base option. So I feel good. Now, I know I was literally just saying a couple minutes ago that in this league, I don't think closers are quite as valuable. Yet I took one of the top probably 3 or 4 fourth worst closer at worst, as well as Devin Williams, took Josh Hader as well. But it seems like most people I did not do that last year. And admittedly, heading in this draft, I kind of forgot that it was net saves plus holds. But besides the point, I at least feel good. I mean, Andres Munoz is obviously going to give you good ratios, good K numbers, same with Devin Williams. I'm definitely expecting a bounce-back season from him. And then same thing with Josh Hader. I mean, Josh Hader's insane when he's healthy. So let's go into the round by round. There were some interesting this league. So this is the second year I've done this league, and last year I definitely remember there were some interesting picks and decisions during the draft and who people were dropping, adding in free agency, stuff like that. So I was surprised. I had the 7th overall pick, and then there's my dad there at 5th. This pretty much went. I feel like. And I actually heard the CBS guys talking about this in one of their recent mock drafts, that it seems like these 6, Shohei, Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt, Jose Ramirez, Juan Soto, and Ronald Acuna, are pretty much a consensus top 6. You may see some differences. Like I was a little surprised to see Jose Ramirez go above Juan Soto. Other than that, I feel like this was pretty much chalk. But yeah, those definitely seem to be the 6 guys. I've actually never had Ellie de la Cruz before, so I was really excited to draft him. I know he had a really rough second half, kind of dealing with an injury, but I mean, just an athletic freak in every way. I mean, the dude's insane. And my guess is, because I think I saw a stat somewhere they went like 70 games last year. There was a stretch of like 70 games where he only had 1 homer. But I'm just going to chalk that up to the injury. Can obviously steal a ton of bases. Doesn't even really kill you in batting average. I mean, 260. I mean, in modern baseball, I'll take that. Still scored over 100 runs. Got the ribbies up. So, yeah, no, I really like Ellie a lot. So I was happy to draft him. Unlike I've never had him before. Probably the most shocking pick, I guess you could maybe say Skeens over Skubal was surprising. But at the end of the day, they're all really, really good. Kyle Schwarber in the first round. Now that's, oh boy. Sorry for the yawning, folks. Easily the highest I've seen Kyle Schwarber go in any drafts. I mean, coming off a career year, the dude was amazing. But in a league like this, in a points league, head-to-head points, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked, but I definitely kind of thought it was a little bit of a reach. Granted, him being at the end of the snake, I mean, he knew he obviously it wasn't gonna get back to him. So I guess if that was his guy to take, then I guess it's fair. And he paired him up with Corbin Carroll. So in theory, I mean, Corbin Carroll, Kyle Schwarber, I definitely feel like Carroll should maybe be a little higher. I would have taken him over Julio. Kyle Tucker's tough because I really like Kyle Tucker a lot. I think he went like in the mid-second in the draft I did last week. Nothing really too crazy in the second round. I don't think this was a huge slide, but I was surprised to see Fernando Tatis still available when he got to me at, what would that have been, the 18th pick? Because Cal Raleigh went ahead of him. Caminero, I guess Caminero was kind of normal, but I was a little surprised by that, so I snatched him up really quick. Pete Alonso. Okay, I forgot about that. That was a surprising pick. Pete Alonso over Vlad and Nick Kurtz. The top pitching definitely was going quick. Christopher Sanchez and Brian Wu in the second round. Yeah, this is an interesting league. It's an interesting league. I thought Jordan was gonna get to me. That's right, because I definitely would have taken Jordan. It seems like I guess people have essentially been, quote, buying the dip because his ADP last year was not in the third round, but considering the rough year he had, I have not really seen him slide anymore at all. I mean, he's definitely going where rankings and projections have had him. So, yeah, picked up Brent Rooker again. I'm not really – the James Wood PCA both just scare me. I mean, they clearly both have the talent and the upside, but if they still just haven't quite put it together yet I mean, James Wood's first full – I mean, James Wood and PCA had very similar seasons where, I mean, the first half was amazing. Second half was pretty rough. And obviously, if you look at that over a full season, I mean, James Wood still had 31 homers, 15 stolen bags, 825 OPS, still strikes out a ton, which worries me. But 94 ribbies, I mean, fantastic numbers. And then PCA put up the 30-30 season with good other numbers, too. I mean, 247. I mean, terrible plate discipline, though. I mean, 29 walks to 155 strikeouts, 91 runs, 95 ribbies. Just, I don't know. That early in draft, I mean, that was, third round, is still just a little scary for me to take. And I've obviously sang my praises for Brent Rooker since starting the warning track. So, Lindor in the third, that was a really good pick by my dad. I was surprised. I know his recovery isn't quite as far along as Corbin Carroll's is, but I was a little surprised there. The fourth round is where I took Devers. I really liked that pick a lot, especially with the way the first baseman ran in the second, and then I guess a couple more, Matt Olson and Bryce Harper, went in the third. I feel like Rafael Devers kind of represents that last drop off of like the really good. I guess some people put Freddie Freeman in there. I really don't. So to be able to get Devers in the fourth, I was really happy with that. We see the first closer go. So this is, despite this league offering holds, that didn't really change. I was gonna take a pitcher in the fifth round. I feel like that's usually where I've kind of been going with that. But yeah, Kirby Sale and DeGrom go back to back to back. And I don't hate Framber Valdez, but in the fifth round seems a little pricey to me. And when there were guys like, and not that I really needed a first baseman, but Freddie Freeman and Vinny P were still there, and Austin Riley was still there, especially with third base being so bad. So getting him in the fifth round, I couldn't pass that up. And then thankfully, I was definitely a little worried the pitchers were going to keep on running, especially when Freddie Peralta and Luzardo went. Thankfully, I was able to get Dylan Cease with my first pick. Definitely some whip concerns, but he's going to put up good K numbers. I mean, he's as consistent as it gets in terms of starting. I mean, as you can see here, he's made 30-plus starts each of the last 5 years. So I guess if there's any trend of these numbers, it's went bad, good, bad, good, bad. So maybe he's going to be a stud this year. And I like him going to Toronto. There's going to be plenty of run support there. Yeah, I like the pick. And obviously whip's never really been his, same thing. I guess this is on and off. So considering I waited until round 6 to get a pitcher, having Dylan Cease as my top guy, I think it could have been a lot worse. So I'm not upset with that. I thought there was one other crazy pick that I'm blanking off the top of my head. Why don't we see if anybody else is? Nope, nobody yet. So it's not uncommon to see some first round auto drafts in here. It's a little frustrating, but I get people obviously got lives to do and can't just do fancy baseball shows for Wayne 15 Plus during the middle of their workday like I can. So it is what it is. It's still a really fun league to do. Let's go back to the draft. I thought Glasnow in the 8th was kind of crazy. Yeah, I ended up taking the closer here. I don't know. It's just between I'm not really the biggest Naylor fan. I feel like his value is a little overrated just because of the stolen bases he had last year that I don't trust happen again. Buxton, I mean the dude's obviously good, but just hurt all the time. Not really a big fan of the catchers in this group, or at least just where they're going. Because I actually like Hunter Goodman a lot, but I just don't know if I want to take him in the 6th round. So I don't know. Closer, and like I said, I also didn't notice the Holtz thing, but closer just seemed to kind of make sense to me. It just was a good spot. Cade Smith hadn't went yet, but by this point, Mason Miller went in the 4th. Edwin Diaz went somewhere. Did he go in the 3rd? No. Where did Edwin Diaz? Okay, yeah, he went here in the 5th. So yeah, it was Miller then Diaz. Yeah, so I felt pretty good getting Munoz there. Yeah, Cade Smith goes in the 8th, and then I think I got Devin Williams a couple rounds later. So I would much rather have Williams over David Bednar. I know obviously Devin Williams didn't have the best season, but I mean basically a year ago, David Bednar was sitting in AAA. I know he came back and was fantastic. I mean, especially with the Yankees, but I don't know. I mean, I guess otherwise, if other than 2024, you take out 2024, he's had a sub-3 ERA every full year of his career. So maybe it's a good spot. But there's also, I mean, so many. I mean, community evolve. So if Bednar messes up, there's a lot of people that could come take a spot pretty quickly. So moving on, we had Luis Robert. I was really happy to get Luis Robert. I wanted him in at least one league. I like the bounce back this year. Much better lineup, obviously. And sometimes I think people just need a new start, a fresh start, especially I can't imagine morale and the times in the south side of Chicago are really high right now. So, and we've seen obviously the upside. I mean, ideally, 2023 season where he hits 38 homers, 20 stolen bags, bats 264. I mean, we've even seen, I know this was only 98 games, but even seen a 284. I mean, this was a 338 batting average in 68 games. He's still only 20, or maybe not even, or 20. Okay, so he's 29, or 28, excuse me. So, still young. Obviously, the prospect pedigree once upon a time was enormous. So I really liked that a lot. Augustine, I think if there was any, I feel like this is also kind of a lot different than taking Hunter Goodman in the 6th round. But with the stolen base upside, I know I've heard the CBS guys say that they think he's going to play DH a lot, which frankly is fine by me because I don't really care what his position eligibility in 2027 is. If I can get basically a DH at catcher who's going to play full time, probably hurt me in batting average a little bit, but steal me some bases, sign me up. I think that'll be a really good pick. Mackenzie Gore, we'll see. I had him in a league in 2024, which went very similar to 2025, where he had the amazing start and then kind of just fell off. But good K numbers, same thing. Prospect pedigree from once upon a time, was taken 3rd overall in the draft. I mean, like I said, the K numbers are just insane. Solid FIPS too. I mean, yeah, the whips are pretty disgusting. But as you can see, I mean, 5-15 record. So I'm hoping the new supporting cast will be a lot better. Maybe DeGrom can take him under his wing and help him out with some stuff. So I really like that pick. Like I said, Jacob Wilson was fine. I was thinking maybe Michael King here. I like Michael King bounce back a lot. Jonathan Aranda went really early in this draft, but I like Aranda a lot, so I don't even hate it. At least just compared to the one I did last Sunday, it was early. And then Chris Bubich. Yeah, I feel like this league, all the sleeper pitchers, people were drafting a lot earlier than the one I did last Sunday. Because even like Musgrove post the news, I think it was his elbow or like arm fatigue or whatever it was, still win the 18th round. Daniel Palencia in the 17th, I think it was a good pick. So I feel good about the team. Like I said, I maybe reached a little bit on the closers, just not remembering the holds aspect. But, that 4 right there. Austin Riley, Elliot de la Cruz, Fernando Tatis, Brent Rooker is nasty. Rafael Devers, first full season, he put up fantastic numbers last year between Boston and his current home, the Giants. Still young, yeah, crazy. He's only 29 years old. He debuted at 20, so. But yeah, saw the batting average drop in San Fran, but hit 20 homers in 90 games. So feel good about the power there. It seems like kind of an underrated lineup. They have him, Willie Adames, Matt Chapman. So yeah, I feel good about Devers, and like I said, I think he kind of represented the last of a good wave of first baseman there. So I was happy to get him. Nobody's picked yet still. So yeah, my guess, usually we get through about has to be more than 3 rounds a day. Otherwise, it would take like 9 days. Kind of like just in a normal draft, the later you get, the less obvious I think picks are. So people will take a little more time. But we'll see how it goes. So it at least keeps you busy throughout the day. So I do like that. Well, I think that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Like I said, kind of the next week or so, we'll just spend time kind of recapping the Hundo draft here, seeing how the slow draft's going. We'll hopefully have Ethan in one of the days, kind of talk about how he's feeling about his team, and just continue ramping up until the season starts. So yeah, the MLB season starts. I'm blanking. So March 25th are the first games. So yeah, literally only 9 days away. So the season will be here before we know it. World Baseball Classic. Did I have that pulled up? Or I must have deleted it. Yeah, U.S. beating the Dominican Republic 2-1. Paul Skeens leading the team to a victory. So that was cool to see. That's pretty much all the time we have for today, folks. I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of The Warning Track. It's been really fun to get this show off the ground. And like I said, only 9 days away from the start of the season. So we're looking forward to that. And I just hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And see you next time.
Watch out, it's the Warning Track.